just mirrors your Spanish of it. There's spaghetti models and empty rum bottles, and sometimes Louis says hi. Hey, Louis! But you don't get no hurries and don't have no worries, cause we're drunk donkey nationwide. Everybody now. Everybody weather page. You know he'll be tracking every move that makes. You know it's weather page. You know he won't let us all get blown away.
All right, hey, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Let me flip things on here. Sit up straight. Hold on. I'm slouching. It's because I got Louie. We'll start it off with Louie. Louie's lazy today. We're watching Cristobal. Let me see what everybody's saying real quick. I'll turn down the video. That was our Reggae Friday version. Andy Simmons rocking the house with our Mike's Weather page. That's right, Louie. So let's say hi, Louie. We get our morning highs in, everybody. Everybody's chiming in, coneheads. So there's our buddy Louie, and I'm officially drinking my Louie cup mug. Hey, Terry. Yeah, this is a great website. They have some amazing satellite imagery. What do you think, Louie? Where do you think Cristobal's going to go, huh? Cristobal left a lot of water down in the Yucatan, just like you do sometimes when you pee on the floor. All right. What's up, Terry? Terry says hi. What's up there, Louisa? April? Good morning, April. Debbie? Cool, man. All right. Well, we're going to chat away. I usually talk an hour, so if you want your 30-second weather forecast, I'm sorry. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. He's pretty photogenic. Niceville, Katie. That's a nice place to live. Niceville. Oh, man, my camera's down a little bit. And I did a cool little meeting yesterday with Andy Simmons. There we go. There's Irma behind me. Irma. Poking Irma in the nose right here. All right, cool. Let's talk about things real quick. We always open up the show thanking our Facebook Live sponsor. There we go. My favorite place in the world is Daytona. So big thanks to ABC Fine Wine and Spirit for another season sponsoring Mike's Weather page. So we love them. That's a heck of a cool looking can, man. Look at that. You got a race car, you got a blonde, you got the beach, you got sailboats, you got... The only thing that's not good, it's only 4% alcohol. So, all right, here's that. So there we go. Thanks, ABC. There we go. There's Mike's Weather page, by the way. There she is. Everything we're going to talk about Cristobal. Let's go back to the College Due page here. And let's talk about what's happening. Blobs and squalls, right? So we got a big blob definitely firing away north of center. And we're going to watch this now. This has been my biggest curiosity this whole time.
You've got mail.
Oh, I got mail. Don't you love the old AOL? I got to turn the... I always forget something. So there we go. So there's that. Let's read some comments. Good morning, everybody. Yep. Hey, Monica. What's cooking? Got 3,000 people. That's good. Can't see my screen. Can see all the comments. Well, might have to turn your phone sideways. So anyway, all right. So here's what we got. We got a lot of folks down the Yucatan. So I'm not meaning to make light of the situation. Obviously, they have had a ton of rain, 20, 30 inches plus. Finally moving on out, moving north. That's a huge blob of convection here. And we got the swirl showing up just south of that biggest convection line. So there you go. So the official forecast came out at 5 a.m. We got a new cone at 11 a.m. Here's the official forecast. The models have gotten extremely tight. Always been really consistent with this north turn, slow down, northwest turn into Louisiana. So the cone is getting tighter. Hey, Whitney, morning, Louisiana man. So that's consistent. That's good news. They're predicting a Sunday night, early Monday landfall. That's really consistent with models. It's got 2 days over water. So there is, big question mark. They do expect slow strengthening into 65 or 60 mile an hour maximum winds. We have an update. I think that was tropical storm watches for parts of the Yucatan. But again, winds 60 mile an hour peaking out. So again, higher end tropical storm, they are making points to let everybody know that it's going to be a heavily eastern sided system. So just because landfall could be in Louisiana, we could be seeing tropical storm and big surge all the way into the panhandle of Florida, and they're letting everybody know that. So we're going to get some watches up, looks like later today, for the upper Gulf Coast. Dangerous storm surge from Louisiana to the Florida Big Bend. Remember, west side of the system won't have hardly any effects. Hey, Len, thanks for the share there. Thanks, Bobby. What's cooking? What's up, Mo? New Orleans. Yep, it's going to rain, Jennifer. All right, so that's that. No big changes to NHC. Don't focus on the center, except don't worry about it as much to the west of center. Again, most of this is happening on the east side. And I'll show you all kinds of stuff we can look at. That's why these things take an hour, because there's so many. This is amazing, Bobby. Look at this. That is an impressive looking Cristobal, even though it's kind of falling apart. We have bands all the way up, reaching upper Gulf already today. And there is spinach down there. But what we have is dry air. We have a high pressure system just to the west of Cristobal. Let me show you. And this is going to help limit the intensification on the journey northward. So this is always a good loop to look at. I'll leave it right here. So blobs and squalls with Stephanie. Biloxi. Well, I don't know. That's your call, but you're going to be probably under tropical storm watches or warnings. If you're close to the water, high tide today, strawberry moon, So, yeah, all right, we're going to show you a bunch of models, so hang loose. All right, so this is great imagery here, by the way. Great imagery. This is dry air to the west, starting to circle down into Cristobal. And these are definitely buzzkill for storms. Not an end-all by any means. Sometimes these systems can just create their own moisture field. So I wouldn't read too much into this, except it's one limiting factor on this thing becoming too explosive in the Gulf. But it's fascinating to see. It's really classic dry air dipping down around. So it's pretty cool. That's a water vapor loop. The other thing that we're looking at is shear. Shears yesterday night when we went live was slowly dropping a little bit. So it's still kind of heavy. It's weakening though. We're going to have a little window here where it's weakening. I'll show you. It's almost like a little doorway, a little passageway as it goes north. So kind of hard to see, I'm sure, but there is a little decreasing shear exactly where Cristobal is going. So there's a little window of opportunity as he's sandwiched in between two highs. Mid-level, upper-level disturbances on either side. So there's a little window, So you got dry air as a negative, lesser shear. So anyway, that's those two things. And the water is definitely hot enough to support any sort of system down there. So water temperature is not a factor. So it has 2 days. Here's a great map. Saturday night is still the timing of when you could potentially see tropical storm force winds Saturday night. That has not changed. They are actually even showing it almost touching here, the coast of Florida, and they're even showing parts of Texas. Even though we're not gonna get a lot of rain, it's gonna be windy. What's up, Coneheads? That's right, we are official Coneheads, by the way. Coneheads, and in fact, let's show you what a Conehead looks like. We got to start doing that more. I should wear my Conehead shirt, but then I had to wear it every day. Then I get called out. So we have warm loop eddies too. I will show the Conehead later. So there's that. That's interesting. Here's Spaghetti Models. Latest batch just came out from tropicaltidbits.com. Look at that. So we are almost 100% certain this thing is going upwards into Louisiana as far as center goes. These just came out on Tropical Tidbits. 12Z models just came out. These are your freshest batch. And look, no stalling, which is good. It's going to get sucked up and merged into a front coming down. So basically should dissolve up here in middle U.S. as a front comes down over the first part of the week. But no hanging around and creating major flooding, which is good. Isolated floods for sure. We are under a flood watch now. Let me show you this, and we'll show you some rain totals. Everybody likes rain totals. That's not what I wanted. I wanted, what did I want? I want this. So here's the latest National Weather Service alert map, and much of the Florida Peninsula now is under a tornado watch. Or, damn, flood watch. I'm losing it. So anyway, flood watch is extended northward, and then we also have flood watches in Louisiana and Mississippi, which makes sense. So flood watch, big chunk of Florida, and that's through Sunday evening. So I was telling you that one scenario that we could possibly get a lighter Saturday of rains is still an outside possibility. Hey, Joy, that's a good point. I guess, I don't know. That's a good question. Why watch when you're already flooded, right? Here's the rains. There's our morning rains we were talking about last night, possibly for the Keys. It looks like it's right offshore, but that's Florida rains happening right now. Today's going to be a lot less than it was yesterday for the majority of people. Still going to be rainy, but I don't believe it's going to be as much as it was yesterday. Let's take a look at the short range radar, and then we'll look at some other stuff. Crystal, yes, you probably will get a tropical storm warning in Peninsula. Oh, Peninsula. I thought you said Pensacola. No, I don't believe we'll have a tropical storm watches or warnings in the Florida Peninsula. I mean, man, I don't know. So anyway, Anthony, who's that? Who are you talking about? Dude, me? Let's see, Atlanta, nothing. You get some rains. All right, so here's the scoop. All right, let's look at some short range HRR maps. Lopsided storm, Telford, correct, buddy? What's up? So, that's a good question on Florida. I don't know if they would issue watches for Florida Peninsula or not on the West Coast. We're going to have squalls come in on Sunday for sure. Panama, you're right in the heart of it. Panama, everybody pretty much from, Texas, Louisiana line towards Big Bend. I mean, that sounds like but it's such a wide system that more than likely we'll see watches up all the way to Big Bend, I would assume, tonight or soon, maybe even 11 a.m. Saturday night impact, so today's Friday. So they might issue watches technically by 5 p.m. All right, so let's look at some rain. This is your 12Z. I love doing these shows because our 12Z models are updated and they go longer out on the HRR. All right, so here's today's rains. Let's see, noontime. Here's noon estimated, scattered showers in the south. It's pulling to the north as our system's kind of going north now. We got 4 o'clock rains bubbling That's 4 o'clock. Here's 7 o'clock. So, 6, 7 o'clock, rains rolling through Florida. Overnight, another batch tomorrow morning. 1 a.m. Things start to tighten up here with Cristobal down here. This is 3 a.m. And then that stops running. So tomorrow, 6 a.m., there you go. HRR, there's our rains. We got a flood watch from basically where the rain here is south. So definitely, this thing's huge. Go back to this site. Here's Florida way up here, but look at that. We're already getting outflow here. So yeah, everybody in the upper Gulf Coast needs to pay attention. We could have tropical storm force winds well from center. Still going to be windy in Texas. You just won't get as much moisture. Mississippi Gulf Coast, or definitely Rebecca, you're going to be right in the heart of this thing. Upper end tropical storm is the official forecast. I'm still watching for a little bit more than they're predicting. Just again, what we've seen the Gulf do this year. There's no science behind it. I'm not wish casting. I just gut instinct thinking we're going to see a little bit stronger. We're not talking category 2 or 3 or 4. Just maybe borderline hurricane. Doesn't 10 miles an hour isn't going to change the effects. I just think these things have a tendency to this time of year blow up a little more than expected. So anyway, here this current. Look at that, man. There's a center down here. Let's zoom in. We'll look at some more higher resolution stuff, but that's some pretty massive explosion there. Let's look at satellite visible. We can see these cloud tops. In fact, this is on the College Dew page, by the way. Great site, high resolution satellite, and here you can see those rising cloud tops. Look at that, man. They just exploding this morning. So tons of rain down in the Yucatan right now this morning. There's our low level clearly showing up, spinning this morning. So where's that? Oh, evacuations. Oh my goodness. I'm not even going there. I don't know how they protocol evacuations. I mean, anyway. So, yep, official forecast is 60 mile an hour. That would be 14 miles an hour. All right, so here we go. So, more high resolution here by your weather nerds. And there's our cold cloud tops firing away. A lot of lightning in there. Center is estimated right here below this with the dry air coming in. So a lot of dry air on the west side and a lot of juice on the east side. So there's our low. We can see some cool imagery here on our Knoll School site. We can get a great idea where the center is right now, and you'll see it right here somewhere. Kind of disrupted, but kind of curious if we'll get a maybe a center relocation underneath this larger burst of convection. So it's it's definitely ragged. It's not stacked very well. So that's one inhibitor of fast development when this thing gets out onto the Gulf side. All right, so can I see my cup, Allison? That cup, I hope. I don't play sports. Hey, Casper, what's up, buddy? Sean, no, the rain. We have a tricky forecast for the week here. Let's look at some rain maps real quick. We'll go to Tropical Tidbits. This is a great site for looking at rain maps. Let's zoom in a little closer here. Take a look at the latest GFS, and you'll see how the rain's really, 988, a little stronger. But anyway, So here's the latest GFS, 988 millibar, and look at that. There's a big blob of rain. This would be Saturday night. Here's Saturday morning. You know, I know it says 100% chance of rain here in Florida, but I keep telling all my softball friends, keep your fingers crossed, because if Cristobal could somehow tighten up, it could pull some of these rain chances just offshore and lower the rain chances, at least for the peninsula, some on Saturday. But that's not the official forecast. So, hey, Jenna Reeves, no, it's definitely got its own little moisture field. It'll maintain strength. Toilet paper. Yeah, there you go. I'm reading some comments here. Cool. Do we have a troll in here? We love them. I love going back and reading. Here we go. 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, let's look at some rain predictions. All right. So Ben, it's so almost all the models have been showing this northwest turn at the last second for landfall. Again, it doesn't really change anything as far as the effects. All it's going to really do is who gets more westward. The extent of range is still going to be panhandle to Louisiana. It's a large reaching wet system. And other, it's not wind wise. We're not talking, anything too much to get worried about. But there's that big blob of rain. Look at that. So this is Sunday morning, and this shows all that eastward push. Remember that? Scott? Don't know about that one. What's up, Betty? Land cane yesterday. Yep. Oh, land cane in Pennsylvania. Yeah, we had a Direcco up north yesterday. So this is this great imagery here. This basically shows you what we're in for. This is Sunday morning. This is our storm approaching Louisiana. This is all the eastward push. That's our joke from yesterday. Hey, Jeremy. Yeah, there's a little bit of a sign. We can have some tropics maybe midweek. Nothing to worry about, but we could have a little energy pushing towards the East Coast. That's actually kind of part of this. So I'll show you that here in a few minutes. So there's that. All right, so interesting, right? So there's rain. Here's Sunday noontime. There's that last little turn from the GFS, and 989 going into lower Louisiana. Of course, whoever gets the center definitely gets the strongest winds and the surge. The latest GFS showing a little tighter clustered storm here, middle Louisiana. This is Sunday night, PM. There's a dry air intrusion right here, but what it usually creates is a wider reaching system. So the Sunday, Florida, very, very wet. So that's, this is good consistency as far as landfall on the GFS. But this is great image. This is a great map Levi has on his site showing you the rain along with the center. We can look at some winds. Here's a 10 meter winds, and you can see the wind field all the way into Florida. So, there's an outside chance, we could get tropical storm watches in Florida. I'll be curious. We might. Could. Hey, Brooke. Yep, third storm. Can you believe it? Surge. I'll show you, Mary. Yeah, William. We've got a lot of rain coming this way. 100%. So, Jamie. Yeah, unfortunately, there's a weather pattern coming. The end of the week here could remain kind of juicy here in the south. So anyway, here's your winds. So it's interesting. We'll see. We could get watches down here in Florida, but definitely you're going to get watches. I would almost bet money they're going to put their watches up state line, Texas Louisiana line, and they'll have them all the way to the Big Bend, somewhere around Sewanee. So there's that. All right, so let's look at the latest CMC. 988. Again, I mean, that's nothing to be worried about, but it's decent low pressure for blobs and squalls, right? We'll see. I'm telling you. Blobs and squalls. I'll show the euro. Hey, what's up, Haley? Let's see. So look, yep. Spotty blobby kind of day tomorrow, Aaron. Correct. I'm hoping. Ben, yes, models are 100% on key, man. That is the only thing unified right now. 100%. This far out is pretty good. All right, so here's the CMC. CMC is still predicting a blobby, more of a blobby bobby mess. Here's the CMC for Sunday afternoon, Sunday night. So there you go. So Sunday, windy. Boy, Sunday's a bad, windy day on the Florida West Coast. Panhandle, no doubt. Pensacola, Panama, all you people up there, look at, I mean, you could, like NHC is saying, you could get the brunt of this storm. We could have center impacts on landfall in Louisiana. Then we could have a little break almost before the heavy stuff even into the Panhandle. So, it's going to be very wide setup with who gets what. And there's the CMC. So these are the winds. Let's go back and look at rain now. Again, this is a great website. This is our buddy Levi's site. This is Sunday night. You can see it spiraling in. Sunday afternoon. All this big, big, heavy rain. Look at that. Again, most of it's on the east side. Very dry to the west. So it's going to be an interesting day. Sunday's a day. Sunday into Monday. Saturday, again, going to be iffy. I mean, Saturday, CMC showing more spotty rains here in Florida, but Sunday is definitely the worst day of the two. Hey Trey, yeah, let me show you some. Let's look at some rain totals now, and then look at the euro. Here's the latest euro. Latest euro. Oh, the 6Z's out now too. Let's go look at that. We'll look at this one, then we'll look at the latest. Latest 6Z. This only shows you vorticity, so let's look at. He didn't have rain. There's no rain on this one. We just have pressure. But you can see the general path. North turn. So lower Louisiana. So that big shift to the west yesterday, guess what? We flip-flopped back to, so that's always. We were honed in on middle Louisiana 3 or 4 days ago. We had a little shift to the east, and then last night we had a shift to the west. It's like we do the hokey pokey, turn yourself around. Now we're right back smack dab of almost where we started. Middle Louisiana. All right, so there's that one. Let me show you long range real quick since we're on Levi's site. In a nutshell, this is something we saw yesterday. Okay. So we got a tropical wave. We got a tropical wave down here by the Lesser Antilles currently right now. Then we're going to go back to rain maps. I promise. We're going to show rain. We'll show rain totals. We'll show wind. And then I'll see what else we want to talk about. So here's that tropical wave right here. Tropical wave. So what we got here is this front is going to come around and leave behind some energy. And we could possibly see a little spin up south of Bermuda later in the week. Okay? We also have this wave that actually is going to help fuel this whole area down here and possibly merge with it or even kind of drift into the Gulf. So it's very complex, but it's very fascinating. So here's the front right now, draping in front of Cristobal. This has kind of been the blocker, but now it's going to move on out. Little piece is going to hang behind. possibly form into a little something, something. This is the GFS, maybe drift back towards the Carolina coast. But here's that wave down here, too, we're watching currently. This tropical wave kind of merges with it somehow, and we get this general juicy area moving its way into the Gulf here later in the week. So very complex. There's really no consistency except the two areas that we could watch. Here it is again, the CMC. So, we might get a circle out of it. It might be that first one that we got, Invest 92, I think it was. It definitely doesn't appear to be anything to worry about. It could bring rain to Bermuda, but in case it comes out that we have a tropical area being watched in the Atlantic, this is what they're talking about. And it doesn't appear to be anything to worry about. The only thing that's interesting to me is this tropical wave down here coming maybe later in the week. And then back to the questions about the panhandle. Let's show you real quick. This front that's kind of draped up over the U.S. right now is going to possibly just kind of drape itself across right here. So here's Friday. So there's our storm going up. Our front's going to start draping. So here's Wednesday. This is some of that tropical wave making its way over, merging maybe with that other area. So there's juice there. There's our front, and our front's just kind of linger around a couple days. But now it's kind of pushed on off, so that's good. So the only reason we have increased rain chances throughout next week is this front right here is going to basically stall out, and we got a tropical wave coming later in the week. So back, any of that made sense, I don't know. Hey, what's up? Somebody just said hey. All right, so let's look at rain maps real quick for the south. We'll look at the Euro, and then we'll look at the GFS. We'll look at the official rain map, rain totals. So official rain totals through this mess. So here's through Saturday. So Saturday rains might not be all that bad for anybody. This is Saturday rains. The rains really don't start coming. We've been talking about the better day of the weekend for sure, Saturday, especially in the Panhandle and the Gulf Coast. The rains start creeping in Saturday night. We got, isolated rain chance through the Florida Peninsula, but again, I don't think it's as bad as it looks. We'll see, as far as dumpage goes. Yellow is 1 inch, by the way. But anyway, here's the big rains. This is Sunday morning, and they really push in Monday. And there's the heavy pockets of rain on the Euro. So anything white, 5, 6, 7 inches. Well, 7 inches is white. So, there's your pockets of rain. New Orleans into Mississippi, Alabama, obviously where the center is. The center shifts a little bit. Obviously, this rain would go with it, and then pull rain from Florida. But this is basically your rains through Monday morning, or Tuesday morning. And again, South Florida looks good. South Florida, again, is like a repeat of yesterday. You guys still looking good down there as far as today's rains, and then maybe a little bit tomorrow, and then it looks good for the rest of the weekend. So very light rains for South Florida from all this. So there's the rain map. And obviously, as Cristobal goes north, the rains go with it. So portions of Mississippi can get 2, 3, 4 inches of rain into Arkansas here. So let's look at that. Look at GFS, similar, a little more sloppier to the east, I'm assuming. So here's your rain through Saturday morning. Here's your rain through Sunday morning. So Sunday morning accumulations up to Sunday are a lot higher with GFS. That's on par with a sloppier system, 2 inches. I-4 north, the heaviest, but 2 inches or so already shown up through Sunday morning. But then the big stuff starts coming Sunday into Monday to Tuesday. So here's your rain through Tuesday morning. And again, pockets of, rains, pretty heavy rains, lower Louisiana. And again, we can be pretty dry. Louisiana, Texas state line, 1 inch. So again, eastern Texas, depending on where this sucker goes, you might get nothing but wind. So there's the rain. So very consistent path of rain. Let's see the official couple official WPS one here. Here's through, let's go through Tuesday. Here's through Tuesday rains. Same thing. 2 inches around Florida. Heavy pockets of rain, lower Mississippi, Louisiana. 5, 6, 7 inches of rain, concentrated. Lower Louisiana. And it's pushing a little bit more rain into eastern Texas, 2 inches. So you get the drift, right? So there's that. All right. Hurricane parties, tropical storm watch. Yes, Tamarin, I believe for sure you will get watches and warning. Nothing to make it stall, Brooke. Steering map is very, very confident on movement. See our ridge here to the east, our high pressure that spins clockwise. Guess what happens when it hits something? It push. So this high pressure is actually pushing Cristobal northward. And there's very weak steering currents above, so it's going to go north kind of quick. Then it runs into high pressure, and then it bends back around. So pretty lock solid forecast the last several days. But here's our high pressure over the plains right now. It's going to develop just over top of Cristobal Saturday-ish. It's going to slow it down a little bit. He's going to be like, which way do I go? And the models still continue that the high is going to build around the east side, closing the door and forcing him to get pulled up into that front. And there he goes. Bye-bye. Here's that other little area we're watching. Could be yellow circled by the NHC. Make top of the news headlines. And here's our little wave down here. That's the tropical wave coming through Wednesday, Thursday next week. So, be top of the news. Tropical Atlantic disturbance. Click here. Okay, push. He said push. Anyway, yep. Pretty lock solid on the track. All right. So there's that. We had rain totals. Let's look at Windy real quick. We love windy.com. Cristobal, yes. And in case you missed all of our education yesterday, we found somebody that's actually, we didn't find it. Somebody sent us a link so we can listen. Here we go. This is how you say it.
Cristobal.
Repeat after me. Remember that lady growing up on PBS?
Cristobal.
Remember that we used to watch the English girl teach Spanish? There you go. Cristobal. You got Crease. Nobody said that. Julio, you're so awesome. It's Crease. That makes more sense to me than what the NHC has a pronunciation guide on their website. And they're saying Krees. But your way sounds better. It won't be long. We won't even have to worry about it because he'll be long gone. And you know how many times I was typing up stuff and I put the A. I had to go back and edit it. I swear it took me forever to spell Cristobal right. And I'm so worried about the I storm. Isaias or Isaias. I don't even know how to say it. ISAIAS. That's going to be tough. Hey, my middle name's Jerome, so I'm not making fun of names. My mom and dad I got a middle name Jerome. So, friends call me BJ growing up. Big Jerome. So there you go. To bring up the cursor. I'm not sure what you mean there. I'll have to look. So, all right. Let's look at windy.com real quick, and this will kind of give us a great idea. Now that the GFS is stronger. The GFS backed off. Now it's 988. Tighter little system. All right, so here is your wind gust map, just to give an idea where the winds could stretch. This is on the Euro. So we could start getting some pretty windy conditions tomorrow morning in the Keys. That'll be probably your last chance of anything from this. Windy conditions tomorrow, Saturday, 7 p.m. So tomorrow, 7 p.m. tomorrow, we should start getting anything red, 30 mile an hour plus gusts. So tomorrow night, timing's still the same. We start to get the bigger winds overnight, 4 a.m., pushing up here. And then we get into morning hours, obviously. Mobile, could have some big gusts. So there's your Sunday 4 a.m., 7 a.m., 10 a.m. There we go. This is 3 p.m. Sunday. Things get really rocking and rolling Sunday night, 9 p.m. New Orleans. So, look at these winds. That's what you got to worry about. Obviously, with these are your storm rain and thunder predictors. Sunday night. So Sunday night again, Florida Peninsula, you're going to be getting Cristobal. There's big storms Sunday morning here. Look at that. So that's what they're watching for. Obviously, center, well to the east. So the Panhandle, Sunday morning is when it really goes downhill. And all these storms can stretch into Mississippi. This is not exact, obviously. It just gives you a great idea. And then, of course, there's our tighter cluster of storms on landfall. Still predicting on the Euro Sunday night. Could be Monday morning, but, Sunday night to Monday morning has definitely been the time frame for landfall. There's a tighter storms. And then as it pulls on out of here, we could still have some tail end of storms on Monday morning. And what's important to note about these are the ones that anytime we can get water spouts and tornadoes, but these tails that extend down into the Gulf, they're the ones that get squally and produce tornadic activity. And that's another thing we got to worry about here in Florida. These tails are going to be coming in, and they could be blobby and squally. So blobby and squally. So there we go. It's hard to believe we're talking about a storm called Amanda that now is Cristobal. Hey, Gina. Oh, 0.18. What number is that? 0.18. I don't know. Oh, that's, what do we have? 0.1. I think that's just, I don't know what that is. Good question. I don't know. Something I have on my, it could be rain. I think it's rain totals. Oh yeah, it's rain totals. Those are rain totals. I don't know if it's per hour though, so it's deceiving. But it's just basically saying like this storm right here, Tampa, half an inch. This is Sunday. So, but anyway, this is GFS, by the way. I flipped it over to GFS. So GFS again. Let's look at wind. Earliest for wind gusts tomorrow morning, maybe Keys again, 6, 7 a.m. It's starting to pull northward. Tomorrow, let's see, it's saying around maybe 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. So we could start to get the winds a tick earlier on the GFS. Going to be a windy day across much of Florida. And Texas isn't really looking like a lot of winds. But here's tomorrow night. And there we go. There's 992. Their storm gets rocking on Sunday morning. There's squall lines into Florida. It's going to be, there's that tail. So we got to worry about these squall lines coming up to the west coast Sunday morning. And there's our storm, our landfall. Sometime this is this, by the way, this is not the latest GFS. This is the 00Z. The 6Z just came out. So it's going to move a little bit back and forth, but just gives you an idea. And then the rain and thunder, same setup. Saturday things get really rough into the evening, 9 p.m. we can start seeing storms. This is all based on GFS a little quicker than the Euro. But the latest GFS is see here's all right. So here let's just for example. So here's 7 p.m. Saturday. 7 p.m. Saturday. There's our big rain band. 7 p.m. Saturday. If we look at the latest. 7 p.m. Saturday. I got to keep remembering because I got a short memory. So let's go to 7 p.m. Saturday. It would be sometime around here. And it slowed down a tick. So the latest, GFS, a little tighter, a little slowdown. So the storms, again, look like late Saturday into Sunday. Anyway, what about the NAM? What's up, Bobby? Nobody knows. I love reading message boards, by the way, because every blogger has this deflated feeling in their post when they see the possibility of a dissipation. Word of the day. The highs and lows of tracking. Let's take a look at some current satellite imagery since sunlight is now upon us. Let's see what it looks like. The morning wake-up call. Spinning away. And this, let's look at some dirty convection here. See if it's still firing. Backing off a little bit. We've had these big blow-ups in the morning. D-Max and all that good stuff. But, there we go. That's where she's at. Let's look at the NAM. Good idea. We can look at some high-resolution NAM. Somebody's here. I have to be quiet. Somebody's here. Here we go, NAM. Hang on a minute. Hey, check this out. All right, I'm back. I lost everybody, but look at this. I'm glad I opened the door. Somebody left us flowers. And I wonder who it's from. Because, we just lost our Rusty. So it's from, let's see who did it. We can read it on air. See who did it. So it's from our Curlew Hills, or Curlew Animal Hospital. That's who we go to. So thanks, Curlew Animal Hospital. That was pretty cool. I hate it when the doorbell rings. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? We're supposed to have no solicitors. Casper, I know. That's cool. Yeah, we've been going to the same vet for 20 years. We had our last dog put down there, Cody, 12 years ago. So anyway, that was cool. All right, so we're looking at the NAM. Back to winter. Emily says, "You sure do talk a lot." I hate talking to people. That's the funny thing. No. All right, so here's the NAM. We could take a look. 12Z. Look at 6Z. Kind of get an idea of it spinning up. Look at let them all load here, and there we go. All right, so here's what the NAM looks like. This is Friday. Here's Saturday morning. We could have a little band of rain Saturday, 9 o'clock in the morning. Kind of pushing its way through. And there's our big rain Saturday evening. And there we go. So here's one of them squalls. So look at that. That's beautiful. So there's our core. And there's our secondary squall line. Remember, blobs and squalls. Wouldn't it be cool if we had a big blob and a squall? I'd have to make a t-shirt. Blob and squall. Hey, Cindy. Yeah, we had a black border collie, man. That was the smartest dog on the planet. I taught that dog to get a beer out of a cooler. I taught him to go get Mama's pillow when she sat on the couch. I taught him how to get the phone if it rang. So anyway, NAM looks good, Bobby. And let's look at say that 10 times fast. Let's look at a cool imagery here. Then I want to look at the 6Z Euro, because the GFS is showing a little stronger system. You know, we took Louis, by the way, to see, you know, Rusty, and I had a friend suggest it. And somehow I think Louis understood, because as we were petting Rusty, he was kind of barking at us, like, leave him be, because he was laying down, you know, and he hasn't looked lost today. Like, sometimes when we still have Rusty at the vet, because we board him up when we go out because he's too big and he was blind, and he would always be lost, but he kind of seems normal today, so now he's the man of the house. I hope the bark scares away the bad people, because his bark sure isn't like Rusty's was. I'm gonna have to put a little more bass in it somehow. Maybe I'll get a recording that he can hit a button. The West. All right, I'm gonna read everybody's comments here real quick, but I wanted to look at the dry air. This is pretty cool. So this is basically what we're looking at. I wish I could zoom in closer. I don't think it's something. But anyway, this is it. This is basically what we're looking at. So as we go in time, boom, this is great imagery. Let me copy it and we'll zoom in on it. Let me go back. So let's try to zoom in on it. I don't know if they let me though. Let's see. Come on, stop it. Stop it. Copy image. I don't think they let me copy paste these images. What the heck? No, because they tag it. Oh, freak, they are. They got it. Well, that's good. I pay for it, so at least I don't have to worry about it. But so let's go back to it. Now, man, I closed everything. Where the hell did it go? Bummer. I got to reopen it now. Monday morning. Yeah, Monday morning. Be a little. Hey, C Poppy. Yeah, it's going to still be hanging around Monday morning, but it should be clearing out for you. Didn't you say your 50th birthday party? For sure, Tuesday. Monday night ought to be all right. I'd go for it. Shouldn't be bad. All right, let's go back to this real quick because I want to show you what we got. So we got all that dry air to our west here, and basically right there. So some of these models. Maybe I can zoom in. I can't even zoom in. All right. So anyway, you get it. So we're going to get dry air sucked in around our system. And dry air sometimes helps choke hurricanes or tropical storms, in this case. But it also separates a storm and opens it up. So that's why we're seeing the main landfall. And then we're going to see some of this dry air get in, and we're actually going to see a secondary squall push way to the east. And that's shown on all the models. So that's why we're seeing a band down in Florida on Sunday. It's Sunday night. We might have a little dry pocket, and then we're going to have the core on the landfall. Let's look at, okay, real quick, storm surge, by the way. So I got a link here, potential storm surge map. Click on that. It's experimental, I believe, but there we go. Look at that. We've got tracks now. Awesome. So you can play around with this. This is based on the current NHC track, but you can, oh, that's cool. They actually added more features, which is neat. So this is maximum water height. This is where the surge area is obviously at, Morgan City. You can follow along. This is the eye of the storm. Obviously, it's going to change. If there's any NHC change, this will change. This is based on where the center is expected to go. So obviously, this shifts a little bit. Either way, then the storm surge predictions are going to change with it. But it's a great interactive map. You can look at inundation depth above ground. So these are the areas that could get rain or, surge. I don't believe it shows Lake Pontchartrain. However, it does show surrounding areas to it. So it's cool. And then if you want to get closer here, the third little bar on the left, you can click and get a more accurate image of what you can see. And it takes into account tides, which is cool. So it's showing that little spot here, 5 foot above mean water height. So it's a cool map. So anyway, it's on my site. It's not official yet. It's not a NHC, I don't believe, has activated any sort of surge map yet. Oh, hey, look at that. We got rainfall maps now. That's cool. Here's rainfall percentage maps. So you notice, look at Florida. Look at that. Not as bad as it looks, I'm telling you. A little tighter system is going to make Saturday a lot less likely. Sunday, unfortunately, wet. But Sunday. Here's flash flood potential, obviously. Here, so all right, but we'll get more surge maps soon as the storm gets closer to the coast. All right, so there's that. What else can we say? Let's see. Anything I missed? How long, man? An hour goes by quick. Wind speeds, Betty? Yeah. Well, right now 60 mile an hour is the estimated maximum strength. We could have gusts well east of the center. Tropical storm watches and warnings will likely extend into the Big Bend area. Pirates Punch. Where's that at? Pirates, that sounds good. Hey, Jenna, I got a link. I know I got a lot of links, but this whole Cristobal, where it says Cristobal on the site here, every link is pertinent only to Cristobal. And right between all these great satellite imageries from weather nerds, I have potential storm surge map right here. Right there. So you click on that. Crystals, mobile ensembles. Yes, I messed that one up. Here you go. European, tightly clustered right here, middle to western Louisiana landfall. That was all the different ensembles from the Euro. The GFS ensembles, very, very, very similar. All showing that little bend. The UK is still a little out there as far as heading more eastward. I think Dennis Phillips said a couple years ago that the Euro has the better handling of upper air steering, and we see that now with the disturbance, upper air disturbance to the east side is pushing Cristobal northward into that gap, and you can see it. Probably, can't really see it. Doesn't show up too well here. Does a little bit, I guess. All right, so here you go. This is great illustration right here. So these are your 500 millibar winds. This is your mid-level winds, and you can see the clockwise spin here by the Bahamas, and we're getting this convergence between the two right here. They're clashing. A lot of that's creating our unsettled weather to the east side, but it's also helping push Cristobal northward, just like you would think. Winds rotate amongst each other like two tops. So this is pushing. So the UK thinks it's going to go here. There's a little weakness right here, but more than likely more north. So that's why the UK is the outlier, but everything's going north on that one. So let's leave this up. Misha, very unlikely. No models predicting a peninsula landfall. Even an outlier is not predicting that. So, I don't know, Corey. Middle. Eastern Texas definitely in the cone. There's always that little chance it could slow down and turn a little bit more. We got that slowdown coming, so that's going to give a little bit more time to strengthen a little bit before landfall. let's look at some individual ensembles real quick. And let's see what some of them say here. We're going to have a new NHC advisory coming. Impacts for South Georgia, just rain, Christy. You could get a couple squall lines Sunday. Push up there. You'll get some normal afternoon thunderstorm type stuff. So let me look here. Let's look at let's look here. Destin, what's up, Charmaine? Yeah, you're right in the heart of some pretty nasty weather on Sunday. Tammy, New Orleans getting rain on Saturday. Oh, Saturday. Listen, there's a good chance Saturday could be the good part of the day. Saturday could be dry for you there. Okay, it's definitely going to start getting close. Saturday evening, Saturday night. But I don't think it's going to be a washout by any means. Timing is everything. So here's your ensemble list from the Euro overnight. Oh, we're going to look at the 06Z too, by the way. So most they're all mid-level 900. There's a couple strays, but majority of them are hovering around 990, 980s. And there's your path. Almost all of them, East Texas the outlier, and Mississippi the outlier. So I don't know what Louisiana did to piss off Cristobal, but it looks like he's coming your way. And he's going to throw a bone to the east side and give them weather too. So here's the latest ensembles from 6Z. Okay, these are new for the GFS. And the GFS is a tick to the east. So there's what the GF is thinking. Little bend, so very tightly clustered here. And let's look at the latest 6Z Euro and see if it's run yet. And it goes out 90 hours. And there it is. Middle Louisiana again. There's the freshest Euro. Middle 990s, 994. So there you go. Pretty confident. Things are not changing that much. All right. So what else is cooking? Prepare now. Yep, Misha. The rain, rain and surge. The areas that are prone for this, this could have a little higher surge. It's a bigger storm. Bigger storms push a little more water. Low pressure regardless. Lower pressures push a little more water. So the surge will be on the higher end of a tropical storm, low end Cat 1 as far as surge goes. So if you're in those areas, obviously that's the big effect. Rain, it's not going to stall, which is good. We'll have some areas get 6, 7, 8 inches of rain, no doubt. But the good news is we're not seeing a stall to, here's 6 to 10 inches in the orange. Yellow is 4 to 6 inches. So you can handle that, I hope. Hey, Jenna, tide map. I have a tide map. Right here on the bottom here, there's a U.S. coastal tide chart and tides for fishing. This is really a good one, tides for fishing. We can click on it, individual states. Gulf Coast. Louisiana. The only thing is I'm not really familiar with the individual names. It has all of them. Where the heck is that at? Where is at? See, I just trust me. I go to the Google here, find out where the bay is. So this is Atchafalaya Basin. All right, so we'll look at that one. So we'll click on this one, just for fun. Point offer, and we can get tide information here. And we can change days. So we got to go to Saturday. Tides. So I got a good tide map. They take a lot. It's hard to navigate them though. But anyway, Kimberly, Big Bend. Yep, you're gonna be. No, you're gonna get some squally, nasty weather, no doubt. You're gonna get. You'll get tropical storm force conditions in the Big Bend likely. Nope, Kimberly notes it's only expected to be 60-mile-an-hour tropical storm officially. So there you go, Shafalaya. Jonathan English, are you in here? He's our English guru because he's got it in his name. Anybody with the name English in his name has got to be smart for speaking. And my coffee got cold sitting here. I said it wrong, Mindy? Yeah, I know. I screw it up a lot. All right, what else are we chit-chatting about? What else is going on in the world? Turn the news off. Richard, all right, cool. Yep, they probably talk about that. One good thing about the... I think the squall lines that we're going to see are going to be more of what you expect when you have severe thunderstorm watches and warnings. We're going to have periods of squally weather, and then Sunday we're going to have the tail of Cristobal definitely impacting Florida Peninsula. It's going to be a wide system, and these tails always produce nasty weather coming in off the Gulf. They always produce water spouts, tornadoes. We're going to have a lot of instability in the atmosphere with these conflicting winds that we're seeing. So, we could have some surprise water spout tornadoes to worry about. Let's see if we can get to 800. I don't think we have 800 vorticity map on this one. Nope. I gotta stretch it out. Hang on. We can look at 700 millibar. So here are your instability maps, and not that bad. I mean, yeah, there's some showing there. So definite, definite. So anybody on the Florida West Coast, all the way, through the Big Bend and obviously towards center, we're just gonna have this secondary tail extend away from center, and it's gonna start impacting Sunday. So anyway, yeah, Mindy, I hear you. Let's see. There is a link to Levi. Heck yeah, Jonathan. I got or to see. Oh, you're asking somebody. Yeah, I got tropical tidbits right up here. Tropical tidbits. I got a new one here. Cyclonic weather. Good blogger that I've ran across on Weather Underground. He has this cool. I like this imagery here. This is current positions, and you can see that Cristobal drank a little tequila, got a little loopy here, and now he's in the Yucatan. And he's heading back north. That's his current. We got a new NHC update coming really soon. We'll get a new track at 11 o'clock. We'll get a new forecast at 11 o'clock. We'll see what's going. So let's see. Danielle, no, currently everybody in Louisiana, I mean, the cone, obviously the cone, anybody in that cone, the center of the system could pass anywhere in the cone. So definitely nobody should be taking an eye off of this as far as center goes. Especially if if you're in a surge prone area, this is where it gets tricky. So let's say Cristobal crosses right on the edge of the cone. Very little effects are going to be felt to the east of the side. But what's deceiving is if he crosses, let's say, New Orleans, a lot of effect will be felt outside the cone. The cone only represents where the center of the storm goes, not the effects of the storm. And I guess they have, that's always hard to portray because it does appear like this is the area of the storm. It's the center of the storm, not the effects away from center. So it's kind of trickery. Even though we'll have a landfall somewhere here, we're going to have effects way over here. So you might see that map and say, "Oh, look, man, that's going to middle. We're not going to get nothing." But we're going to. There'll be watches extended. Would bet all the way to Panhandle from this. So anyway, what else is cooking? Before I go, Alexander, what's up? Houston. Hey, you got a good name. Do you live in Houston? Hey, Gary. It does not, Richard. You're correct. The wind field is. They'll probably say tropical storm force winds with the squalls. Just because it's all on a watch, you're correct. It's not everybody's going to get it. The wind field is tight. It's small. Here's the wind history now. This is the history, not the current wind field. We really don't have a wind field right now. Good map here shows you the chances of tropical storm force winds, sustained winds. And see, these are computer generated, and obviously it's showing a lot more to the east than reality. They just basically widen it out the same. So anyway, so what's going on? Thank you, Gail. You got it. Panama, Alex. Yep. Luke Combs, my new dude, hanging out. I think he's got Panama City in one of his songs. Hanging out in Panama City. Yeah, Richard. I always love reading their discussion too. When you go to, I think it's their. I can't ever remember. Usually, it's in their discussion on how wide the winds go. But see, right now they really don't know because we don't have hurricane hunters out there. So, when this goes back over the Gulf, we'll have actual wordage of how wide the storm winds go. I don't know if they've posted those yet. I don't see them. But yes, good point. They'll mention how far out the winds go. But we're going to have new wordage here in a little bit, new cones. I'm not going to waste too much time looking at 5 o'clock because we're going to have a new 6 o'clock with fresh words. Where the heck is that at? We do geography classes here. Oh, it doesn't even come up. Must be a little place. Portico Key? Tomorrow morning, yeah. We could definitely get, if that's what you're talking about. But the storm threat for the Key is slowly, tomorrow morning for sure, we have a storm threat down there. But it's going to slowly move on out of there. So that might be the safest place to be. Good point, Richard. All right. Bayou. What's up, Bobby Bayou? Thank you, Jenna. There you go, Tamara. Yep. No, tomorrow morning could be a little rocky down that way. You're going to be the first to start feeling the real effects, but it's going to pull out. Looks like Saturday afternoonish will be nice. Sunday, more than likely, will be really nice for the Keys. Not really nice. Be windy, but as far as the rough stuff, we'll see this threat in the morning. So here's overnight hours, but Saturday 2 a.m. So the threat's there definitely throughout the morning tomorrow. But things slowly get better throughout the day. So there's some pretty hefty rain bands on the HRR rolling into Florida tomorrow. And that's just because we got this massive flow basically into us up my neck of the woods. And here you go. Here's the current look. So interesting. All right, couple days to watch this. It'll be, landfall Sunday night into Monday. Bottom line, things haven't changed. Not seeing this thing turn due west, not seeing it turn due east. It's going straight north. Little bend at the last second into likely New Orleans or Louisiana. A lot of winds to the east side. We're going to have pretty good surge estimates. I have a feeling full moon today. We have strawberry full moon today, so that's going to add tomorrow's surge up a little bit. Nastiest weather starts to roll in Saturday afternoon, night at the earliest for the upper Gulf. Definitely overnight into Sunday morning. Sunday morning on will be a rough day with big storms coming in off of the Gulf. We're going to have squalls coming into Florida Peninsula throughout the day on Sunday, possibly some on Saturday, depending on how close this thing gets to the coast. But definitely Sunday. And then Monday it pulls on out. And then things start looking better. So, anyway. Anything else going? Looks good. I think I got everybody. So, I'm going to update everything. I'm going to upload this. Hey, I'll take a whiskey at Floribama. Never been there. I'd love to. So, all right, looks good, everybody. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in. And, man, we had a good little crowd today. We'll watch it throughout the day. Anything changes, I'll definitely be live tonight, and I will try to announce it. The golf temp's warm, Ashley. Yep, definitely warm enough to sustain anything right now. Yes, Stephanie, just for you. Hey, Dawn, yeah, we're supposed to pick them up. This is so weird how it worked out timing-wise, but we had to jump on this one because we wanted to get the same color, and we wanted a small one, and we wanted it from the same lady. So she's a nice lady in Dade City. So there you go, Bill, living on a boat, man. That's fun. Thanks, Sandra. Thanks, David. Thank you, Crystal. You too. I don't know what else I can talk about. Have a great day. Yeah, all right, let's end it with that. Have a great day. All right, big couple hours here. We're going to watch some new models at noon. We'll watch a new NHC update. And things are looking pretty confident as this goes. Now I'm just going to watch for my blobs and squalls. We're going to have a blob. We're going to have a squall. We're going to have a big blob here. And we're going to have a squall here. I'm still predicted 985 minimal hurricane. That was 3 days ago. I have to stick to it. So we'll see ya. Bye.